Hello, I'm Tommy. Welcome to my channel, Just Tommy. I'm half awake, Tommy, this morning. Yeah, welcome to my channel, Just Tommy. I cover a lot of topics in the make money online niche, or just making money in general. Flips, tips, the whole thing, hustles. I just like to try it all. And I'm going to try and document my results, try things, and trying to pass on knowledge too of other things that I do that work, but that when it comes to YouTube and online, there's a lot of fluff about it, because people are trying to sell you courses or sell you the idea of these get-rich-quick schemes and stuff. Not a fan, because I know that they just don't really exist. Today I'm a wee bit nervous about this morning. Today I'm up. You probably can't tell. Obviously YouTube doesn't tell you time, but it's a Sunday morning. It's just gone 6 o'clock. I am here first thing at my first ever car boot sale. So a few of the channels I'd follow, which I'll pop up here. One's American. It's called Chase After the Right Price, which is quite cool because he likes to buy retro games and stuff, which I quite into, probably just because it was retro. It's retro now, but stuff I grew up with. I love the whole Nintendo consoles and the Pokemon and that sort of thing. I just think it's cool. But obviously he makes a lot of money reselling these things, and they go to yard sales in America. Where we've got car boots over the UK. I say UK, I'm in Northern Ireland, where car boots the opportunities are even less. Just it is what it is, as we said. We just roll the punches. So I'm here at so I followed then, from following Chase and his channel, I then went on to then the UK. There's a few channels of YouTubers who are doing car boots and flipping from car boots to eBay in the UK. Follow them, watch them just from entertainment purposes, and then also from sort of gleaming a bit of information on what they do and knowledge, and picking up tips and tricks from them, so that when I eventually got here to do my first ever car boot, because it's always been on the checklist, that I wasn't sort of caught unawares. Like, for instance, the first tip was get here first thing, because obviously when it comes to car boots, I'm not going to be the only one here trying to pick up good stuff, and as the day goes on, obviously the good stuff, or the more profitable stuff, or the stuff that the opportunities are going to be less because the items are going to be sold out. So I'm here first thing. It started to rain, which again brings me to the next tip. I've got a spare pair of shoes and a spare top, because I'm happy to get soaked, but I try to reduce the likelihood of getting sick as best I can. I've got some snacks, I've got some cash, because obviously these places do not accept card. It's cash only. And yeah, I've got my glasses as well, so I don't want to walk past anything, because unfortunately I'm blind as a bat, and I don't want to miss out because I actually can't see the items. So that's all important. Yeah, the only thing I did pick up from these guys, and this is where I'm a wee bit nervous, is that I'm a wee bit worried that my knowledge on different items, because they have a very varied knowledge on what to buy, what sells well, and how the game is. Now, I will use eBay and that sort of thing as we go along as best I can, but I'm a wee bit worried then that other people who are doing the same sort of thing and are a wee bit more switched on to what does do well, sort of nab the deals before I do. But I'll try, and I've got a fairly decent knowledge on what type of things I would like to pick up, and yeah, it could end up I just don't get anything. So that's also when the nerves kick in, because it's not going to be much of a video for you guys if I come back empty-handed. So the goal here is to try and pick up a few things, flip them probably on eBay, but we'll see how we get on with the type of items they are. Vinted's also in the back of my mind, because again, they would sell, there's a lot of used and second-hand stuff being sold on Vinted, but it just depends on what it is. So yeah, I've rambled on long enough. Wish me luck. I will try and get content as we're out there as well, just to give you an idea of what's going on, the lay of the land, so to speak. But yeah, half sleep, and this is probably rubbish content, so I'm really sorry. I'm knackered. I am not a morning person. I think, do you ever hear the saying, the early bird catches the worm? Yeah, pretty sure that early bird was probably a car boot buyer, or a seller. They're a car boot person, I think, which is not me, but who knows. If we make enough profit from this, it could be. Which reminds me, look, I'm sitting here doing this because it's something that's on my checklist. It's something I always wanted to do. So I just want to throw this in, is that if you have something that's on your checklist, if there's something that you want to do or try, and you're sort of holding off on it, yeah, feel free to drop it in the comments. It's something I could try for you. But more importantly, try it yourself. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't keep putting things off. Don't procrastinate. Don't overthink it. Just do it. As I've said in previous videos, if you end up doing it and you don't like it, or you try it and you fail, well then fail hard, learn from it and get better, and do it again the next time. You'll learn from your mistakes and get better. That's like, none of us are perfect. But more importantly, life's too short, so don't waste it. Don't regret not doing something. You're better off regretting, in my opinion. You're better regretting trying something and failing than regretting never trying it at all, if that makes sense. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I'm going to get out here, and yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, so at least that's sort of the exciting thing, because I don't really know what to expect. So there is that excitement of not knowing the unknown, but then there's the nerves of like not being familiar with how things work. So we'll see what happens. Until the next bit, yeah, wish me luck. Right, that's me back in the car. Just wanted to give you a quick update on how things went, and then quick update, and then I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get fed and watered. I'm gonna get warmed up a bit because it is cold today, and then I'll let you know what I actually purchased. But that's the main reason for this part of the video, is just to say it's been, in some ways, it's been a success in that I've actually purchased stuff to resell. Whether or not I've made good purchases, it's yet to be known, but I'll give you a breakdown of what I've bought, why I bought it, how I bought it, and what my thought processes are with regards where I'm going to sell it and what I expect to get for it, or hope to get for it, for each item. So I'll give you a breakdown on that, but just wanted to say that, yeah, you can see quick change here, and I'm slightly disheveled, or windswept as they call it, because yes, very quickly, there was a couple of showers of rain. You're open in the elements, so if you're going to do this yourselves, just sort of be aware you need to dress appropriately or accordingly. And I did bring a couple of bags with me, so I wasn't sure to start. I didn't take them with me when I went out, but I know that the guys that I follow in the UK that do this, they would have a couple of bags, like the big IKEA bags in the car, and they'll take maybe one with them, fill it, chuck it in the car, swap, and go again. I now understand that that's definitely a necessity, and I had a couple of bags with me. I wasn't very confident in myself, so I didn't actually take any at the start. Broke the ice with a couple of purchases, and then realised that I needed to be carrying that bag around with me. I couldn't be coming back and forward to the car. It cost me time, because time technically is money, because I missed out on a couple of things I wanted to buy because somebody just got in there before me. So that wouldn't have happened if I'd been a bit more prepared for that, so I'll know for next time. And that's the other thing, I have to say already, it's maybe just the buy-selling thing in me, or maybe you're the same, but I did enjoy it. I do believe there is opportunity, so I'm sort of ruining that. That's a spoiler alert for you, but yeah, I will be back, okay? And I've tried my best to get some footage of sort of what was ahead of me, what I was seeing or looking at, but because of the elements, because I kept getting rain in my glasses, my hands were freezing, I kept getting rain obviously on the lens of the camera, plus I was quite nervous to I got the feeling that recording in this atmosphere was slightly frowned upon. So what I will do next time is I'll be a bit more prepared. I'll have like a body cam on to get some footage to show you what I'm looking at and give you an idea of what I'm thinking of at the time. Yeah, but with all out of the way, I'm going to get a quick bite to eat. They actually have loads of places here to eat as well, so I'm going to grab food here, hot food, and eat it, and then up the road, and I'll update you on my purchase then. Hello again. Right, so that's me fed and watered, and time to give you the update on what happened and sort of the breakdown of costs, potential profit, and that sort of thing. With that being said, I have to say, I just want to get this out there now in case I forget at the end of the video, because this is all very new to me. If you're considering car boots and you've never tried it before, it's something you want to do, or you've never thought about doing it, but now this video has potentially inspired you, all I can say is yes, give it a go. I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was, you'll see by some of the deals I've got here, or how I've got them. It's quite a fun experience in my opinion. I know everybody's going to have a different outlook on it, especially their first time. I quite enjoy being in around people and talking to people and meeting new people and stuff, so that definitely weighed up in my favor. And I have to say, at some points I was talking to a few of the vendors. I was quite interested on their stories, and if they just only did car boots solely, or where else they sold. And the majority of them, to be honest with you, were just solely car booters. Went around markets and stuff and didn't actually entertain any other methods. So with all that being said, before I forget, again, if you are enjoying my content, if you're enjoying this video, if you haven't fallen asleep yet, and this is the type of thing you're interested in or you want to get involved with, then do me a favor and do all the YouTube-y stuff. Like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate your support. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and it's cool to know that I'm sort of creating content that could potentially be of benefit to people. It really does mean a lot to me. With that being said, let's get straight into what I bought today, and I'm going to try and do it in order of how I bought it and the thought process behind that, okay? So as you guys probably picked up on, before I actually left the car, then I was sort of a wee bit nervous and dubious about the whole thing. Excited and slightly scared at the same time. But I was more worried about not finding anything and then coming back. I'm going to return to you guys and report that I didn't buy anything. It doesn't make much of a video, and it's not really of any benefit to either of us, really. So I was quite adamant on getting the head down, getting through as many stands and stalls as I could quite quickly, till I actually could spot something that was potentially profitable. And that's where it came to my first pickup. So there was a lady selling obviously an array of stuff, and I seen one sort of bowl that was being overlooked, and when I looked into it, it was because it was full of rosary beads, which is something I'm not familiar with, but it's a religious emblem thing, and it's, I think, you wear it on your wrists and stuff. I'm not trying to offend anybody, I really just don't know much about them, but I think that was putting people off. I think they were looking at going, think that's not for me. I think they are quite a personal thing, so it's not the type of thing people would tend to buy at a boot sale or buy secondhand. But I decided then to have a quick dig where others are not going to venture. I'm going to have a look, and actually in below all these items were an array of stuff, including these three items. So I'm glad I did look, and I picked up then this item was the first thing, the Groot. It looks a bit like a Skylander, which I believe, I wasn't really that familiar with Skylanders. I don't think they're a product that sell very well. I don't think they're very valuable anymore, and they're not trending, and they don't seem to be something that's going to come back. Now, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but what I noticed when I had a quick look at this, I do like Groot. I think he's a cool character. I think most people do. He's a cool Lego character as well, but that's a different thing. But what I did notice, and I don't know if you can pick it up here, is there was a serial number at the bottom, and a strange sort of it's a coil, but it's like a microchip type thing at the bottom, right? So I thought that was a wee bit unusual. I thought there was obviously a purpose for that. It's just not for decoration, because you can't see it because it's standing on it. So I decided to sort of set that aside and keep digging, and I came across then these two items: a Samsung and a Nikon digital camera. So two digital cameras. Obviously the era of digital cameras has long expired, but because of that, people are trying to keep them or repair them for like memorabilia more than anything else. Some people may still use them, but the truth is, even 10 years ago, the best digital cameras out there has been surpassed by your phones and the modern day. So it's more for memory's sake, and maybe they do have SD cards and stuff that are specific to that camera. So what you find, and I found this off the UK sellers, the eBay guys that I've been, or sorry, the car booters from the UK that I've been following before I did this, is that digital cameras, even for parts, seem to be starting to rise in price. So I thought I'll put these aside, see if we can get the right price, and I'll give it a go. I'm not an expert in these, but it gets me off the market, gets me my confidence up a wee bit. It's more just breaking the ice on that first purchase, that first transaction, and I knew from there then the pressure of not buying anything was off, and I could do a wee bit better from then on. And that's exactly what happened. I have to say that's how it went. But I got the 3 items then for £6, and basically the first thing I did is chuck these back in the car. As I said to you before, I hadn't a bag with me. I had now my hands full with 2 electronic items as well, and it started to rain. Far from ideal. Get rid of them, dump them, grab a bag, and back out. But I've obviously then since looked into it, and I first googled, I put in Marvel Groot into Google, and then the serial number, and a few listings from eBay popped up, including this one. So it's currently being sold for about £7. Now I value this at £1 out of the 6, so I've sort of apportioned it a wee bit. And so that's, if I sell it for £6 or £7, you're talking about £3 or £4 profit. So profit's profit. It's not going to make me a millionaire, but it is what it is, right? The Nikon, I wanted to test both phones out. Now there was no corrosion in the battery compartment, but there was no batteries as well. So when I got it home, took a couple of batteries in, tested it out, and I was, to my surprise, so I really didn't think it would do anything. It does power up, so that's all working. It is showing an image. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can pick it up on the screen there. Yeah, you can. You can see my hand, and then you can see this black mark. So there is some damage on the pixelation to the screen. I would imagine, yes, it probably does work okay, and if you put in a wee memory, you probably can print off it okay, and the images would come out okay, but it's not worth the risk. I'm going to put that up as for parts, and unfortunately for this one, from looking at the prices that I found of sold items similar for parts, it's probably going to be a break-even product, but it's a learning curve. Like I said to you before, if you don't try, if you try and you fail, you learn from it. So I know if I come across them again, unless they're given away, I'm just going to leave them there. The Samsung, however, now no memory card in it, but it did have the original battery, which was good. These were charged slightly differently because I actually know my mum used to have one of these, which I used to steal, and it's you plug it in. Now obviously they didn't have the plug-in charger there, but I have a good feeling I have it about the house. The reason I say it is I'm going to test it out, but you'll see here the prices vary depending on conditions. So for parts, they're selling, the lowest I can see is about 18 to 20 quid, and if it's working in excellent condition, you'll see here, I'm going to stick a couple of images up. I've seen it going up to like 100, 118, something like that. So if I end up getting this charged and getting it working, I could probably list it for 40 or 50 quid quite safely. Worst case scenario, I sell it maybe for 18 to 20 as it is for parts. So yeah, not a bad wee buy. So this leads me to my next purchase. Now, do you remember I told you that I sort of realised that I was behind one guy in particular who seemed to be, every time I landed at a stall or stand I was interested in, he had items in his hand that I wanted, and chances are if I wanted them and he's got them in his hands, he's probably going to take them. He's going to take the best of it. So I was kicking myself about the whole bag scenario, so I will learn from that. But what I did notice, and I just chanced my arm, is that I sell quite a lot of Lego, and I sell it predominantly on Amazon, so I know the value of Lego quite well, right? But most people don't. When you specialize in something, you have that extra knowledge. That knowledge can be invaluable, and it's turned out to pay in my favor in this one. So basically, I saw he had a couple of bags. So whilst he's inspecting, he's setting these items beside him that he's purchased in bags. So he was more prepared than me. He's been here before, and I happened to ask him, where did he get his Lego? And he's like, there was a guy just had a couple of items he pulled out to me, but he doesn't have any more. That's fine, 100%. So I said, oh, it's a shame because I actually quite like Lego. I really like Lego, and I actually would sell a bit of Lego. And he's turned to me like sort of inquisitively, if that makes sense. I obviously got his attention, and he was like, despite what he says, and I have to say, this is the one thing I did find myself picking up on this car boot, is that I don't really trust anybody at these. Everybody's out for themselves, and keep that in mind when you're out there. do not give away too much information because people will use that against you. Sounds silly, but it's true, right? And this guy was no different. He was alleging that everything he was buying was for himself. I could just tell it wasn't. He didn't look like the type of guy that played Lego, and he didn't look like the type of guy that he's quite an elderly gentleman. He didn't look like he sat and played Wii all day and PlayStation 3 and stuff. So took it with a pinch of salt, but he said, it's for me, but would you be interested in buying it? And I said, well, obviously it depends on what you paid for it, and I will give you a fair price. If you give me the truth on what you paid for it, I'll give you a fair price. You can have a quick flip down here now, right? So that did pique his interest, which made me suggest then, well, he's not buying it for himself. If the quick flip took his attention, then he's into buying it himself. So he then tells me that he got the 2 items for about 15. I was already thinking ka-ching here because I know the value of these items, right? So there's a wee bit of back and forth, and I was checking the condition, talking them down like you do, and I ended up getting them for 20. He was happy to accept a quick £5 profit. So off a £15 spend, that makes sense. £5 profit, it's fair. I have since obviously then looked at them a bit further, and I got these 2 items. I'll show you what they are because I am rambling on here. The first item is this City Lego model. Again, hopefully you can pick it up there. I'm gonna show you in a second. So I would sell a lot of, and again, it's something I'm gonna touch upon again in future videos. But I would sell a lot of Lego on Amazon through Amazon FBA. So I'm gonna pop up this quick screenshot up here, and you'll see that the Amazon FBA price, which I'm going to highlight here, this item is currently selling for £38. Once that sells and fees are included, that's £19 profit off that £10 purchase. If I could do that consistently, multiple times a day, every day, I'd be very happy. But yeah, obviously, very good buy there. So that's going to Amazon. The difference is, although this is probably a nicer item, this Lego, Lego does go a lot too on the condition of the boxes. Now both of them are sealed and new items, but this one's probably just slightly more beaten up at the corners and the edges and stuff. I am still in 2 minds about this one, to be honest with you, but the chances are I'm probably just for fun, I'm going to test the water. Because I got the right price, I'm going to test the water on this one, probably on Vinted. So I don't want somebody on Amazon buying something new and it arriving and them feeling it's not new. That's just not a nice thing. So and you could risk your seller's account as well. So what I'm going to do here is it's a quick pop up here to show you that as this is currently selling for $29.99 at the time of this recording. Yeah, selling for $29.99 on Amazon, and I've picked it up for £10. Okay, what I'm going to do is list this on Vinted. I'm going to describe why I've reduced the price, provide the current retail price on Amazon to show the buyer that they're getting value, and I will flip this for, and between the two, I'm probably going to put it on for 20, expect them to ask a counter offer, but I'm happy to accept 15. So if you happen to see this Lego on after this video and it's still there, you could probably pick it up for 15. If it's still on for 20, you can pick it up for 15. But yeah, and the cool thing about Vinted is that the fees go to the seller, or sorry, the buyer. So if I was to get a £15 sale, that would be a clear £5 profit off a £10 purchase, which is pretty good. So once I made the deal on the Lego and stuck it in the bag, I was browsing around again when the rain started to come on, and that's when one stand or stall in particular took my attention because a bit of a tarp over the top of it. So ran quickly in, just didn't want to get soaked early on. And whilst I was in then, I just had a quick browse on what's in front of me, but not directly in front of me. And what I mean by that is, there was a bit of nudging and stuff, which I thought originally was people just sort of doing the same thing as me. But then it turned out that where I was standing was in front of an item that had piqued a lot of guys' attention, which I have to say at the start I didn't realise what it was until they actually pushed me aside and were trying to get to it. So thank you to you guys, whoever you are. Which brings me to my next item. So I'll not reveal it just yet. So basically, I was actually chatting to the seller, the stall owner or vendor, what do you want to call him, and they assumed then that I was actually making a deal on this item. I wasn't aware of it, but then the fact that I had his attention and these guys were sort of backing off, had a quick look, asked him for a price, and basically he was looking for 25 quid for this item. I decided I wasn't very familiar with it, but I knew I should do okay. It sounded cheap. Just sort of went for it was a bit of a, it's not ideal, you shouldn't do this, but I went sort of on a gut reaction and offered him 20, he accepted it, and I took it. And the item is this. So it's a PS3 or PlayStation 3 super slim console. He told me it was all work condition. It was working. It comes with all the leads, the power lead and the adapter for the back of the TV, and it came with 3 controllers. There is one wire missing with one of the controllers, but you know, it's neither here nor there, and I'm sure I could pick up one if I really needed to. So stuck it in the bag and made my way back to the car. Now, the only thing is, I had a thought when I was on my way back to the car is, how am I going to actually test out if this item works? Now, I do believe, in hindsight now, that PlayStation 3s or PlayStations probably from 3 onwards, I think, had this sort of dual capability of doubling up as a DVD player. So there was that. I could have tested it that way, but I wanted to test it out as it was intended as a games console, right? So I thought, I have no actual games for this, but I am aware of he is selling PS3 games. So I thought, right, I'll get this bag, or get it, sorry, back to the car, and I'll make my way back to him and try and do a deal on at least one game just for test purposes. But on my way there, I had a bit of a cheeky thought, and I thought, well, I probably should have factored that into the deal originally, so why not chance your arm? And I basically had a quick sift through his games, picked one I really liked, pulled them aside and said, look, I just realized I bought this console without any games. Can I have one in that deal? Would you throw in one for free just to allow me to test the console out? And I told him it was for my wee boy. Shame on me, but it worked, yeah. He was selling his games, his PS3 games, for £3 each. He's chucked in. I picked up this Lego Movie video game. It just looked nice. I've never played it. And the cool thing was, I checked the condition, no scratches, and it has everything in it that should have. So yeah, win-win. He chucked that in for free, so it meant then that I was now ka-ching, picking up the console, the 3 controllers, and this game for 20 quid. So I have since got back. I have to say, the only thing about the console, I will admit, it looked like he's been eating his dinner or his breakfast over it, because there was it looked like there was salt or something over it and a bit of food like in the corner and stuff, which I didn't notice at the time, but when I got home to clean it up, I was like, oh, right, okay. So it needed a wee bit of cleaning, a wee bit of TLC, but as you can see from the pictures up here, it's all come good. I might see if my editor can stick up a video here, because I've since tested it all out, and it's one of the reasons I actually have delayed in creating the final part of this video, because I have since been enjoying the PS3 and the Lego Movie game. So I said I hadn't played it before, I have now. It's not bad, but more importantly, everything's working as it should. So then I've checked the listings. Obviously, I had done this before, but I'll check it again. I'll show you. I've pulled up a couple of listings then here that were of sold items, of this item that sold. Now they do vary. Obviously, some guys are just selling just the console, some have packages to sell, but you're talking £40 to £80. So worst case scenario, if I was to sell that item for 40, you're talking about £14 profit after eBay fees, which is pretty decent. But it's one of these, don't get high. I have a friend, and he's in sales, car sales, but he has a saying which I use all the time, saying it's very good. It's don't get high off your own supply. Now I have to say, when it comes to buying and selling, you should probably buy and sell things. This is how I think anyway. I like to buy and sell things I know a bit about, which are normally things I really like and I'm into. So sometimes it can be, if you get a good deal, it can be hard to let go of it, but you just have to learn to do that. And that's what he means by don't get high in your own supply. Because if you were to buy stuff all the time that you liked and then not get rid of it because you got it for a good deal, but it's something you really like, well then it sort of defeats the purpose, because you're just out more money and you're not making any profit. So part of me has that high supply type scenario going on here, where I really like the console. I'm thinking to get more games, and it doubles up as a DVD player, which I don't have, believe it or not. No, I'm going to sell it. So yeah, £20 spend, minimum £14 profit. So once I've come back to the car and actually did the last sort of recording to just advise you guys that I'd finished and I was going to get a quick bite to eat and get home, before then I completed the video and let you know what I got and stuff. I foolishly went back into the car boot area and the stalls to get something to eat. And after I got something to eat, as I was standing around making my way back to the car, I spotted, which eventually was my last and final purchase, which was this item. Now, it's brand new in this box. It's a Dragon Ball Z Pop Tee, which I wasn't aware they actually existed. Now, it's a Goku Eating Noodles t-shirt by Funko, which is quite cool. It's a cool item. I think it's a cool item. It's actually in a size large, which is my size. There. Picked up for £5. And as you can see very quickly, I had a quick search just after I got it. And it's actually going for, there's a current listing on Vinted here for 11. So yeah, I could probably put this up for 8 or 9, get a couple of quid off this one for sale. But I have to say, I'm gonna ignore the high-end supply rant I had earlier, because on this occasion I am going to keep this one a treat to myself for the 2.5 hours sleep that I got last night. But yeah, it's only because it's a strange one. This is the type of thing I would buy to wear, or I'd be looking out for, so there's not much point sending this one in for profit purposes, because I'd probably buy it back off myself anyway. So I'm picking this up one now as a personal, but it just shows you again another opportunity. If I wanted to send this in, if I wanted to make profit this item, it's there to be had all day long. So that's my that's sort of an overall feeling of car boots, or my car boot day experience, is that there's loads of opportunities, and the only thing that's going to restrict the opportunities is two things. It's you not going out there to have a look and try this. Even do what I did. I went on the Facebook and actually looked for car auction and car boot groups, and that's where I actually found this one in the end. It ended up being a place known as Nuts Corner. It was on a Sunday morning, and it started, so this is Sunday as I'm recording this, and it started at 6 o'clock. So I asked all them questions on that group to make sure that I didn't miss out. But because of that group, I'm aware of others which I am probably now going to test out at some point. So I'm sure in your area you'll have a Facebook group that offers the same sort of service. So get on there and search and get yourself arranged to at least try this out. If something you're thinking about doing, or you were thinking about doing, or you're now thinking about doing, then I highly suggest you should do it. But the only other thing that I found today that's limited me, and it may limit you as well, is just knowledge on items, or knowledge on what the market value of items are, and what they're selling for, and what they're selling for across different platforms. That's been a big eye-opener for me. So for instance, the two Legos, just because of condition, I've decided to split them up, but both will make me a profit. So that knowledge too is invaluable. So knowledge of different areas. You need a plan B and potentially plan C of where you're gonna move these items on, and what their value is and stuff, and then be aware of costs and stuff. So that's me gonna wrap up this video. I appreciate, like most of my videos, they tend to go on, but as I said before, they're very real, they're very raw, and I'm trying to give you all the information that you need to know. I'd rather you guys be looking at the information rather than looking for it, and to give you the best chance then at doing what I do and what I intend to do a lot more in the future, which is make money online. That's what my channel's about. So if you haven't done so already, please do me that favor. I'm gonna pop up here, do the whole YouTube thing of the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I've probably got that totally wrong, but yeah, more importantly, if you have got any inspiration from this, if you end up going out to your first car boot, or if it's something you do already, feel free to drop me a comment below to let me know your thoughts. I genuinely do hope I inspire some of you to take some action on what you want to do. If there's anything else you want me to try down the line, I've got a whole list of things that's coming up, but if you have anything else you want me to try, feel free again to post in the comments, and I'll certainly check it out. Until that, thank you for watching, thanks for your time. Until the next one, take care of yourselves, and bye for now.